As a guy that looks at Chinese propaganda for a living, seeing a push of something of this magnitude, this DeepSeek thing, this is more than enough to get my attention. Pretty much every single social media person, every single news outlet, every new comment or message that I get is about this Chinese DeepSeek AI and how it's just revolutionized the game. And actually, not just the game, but the entire world. This has caused China to completely destroy the US in AI and tech supremacy, something very important in our future. I weirdly see this ubiquitous opinion from just about every side of the political spectrum and pretty much everyone out there. DeepSeek. Think of it like ChatGPT. This app has taken the world by storm. In fact, it's the #1 app on all the app stores right now. But what is the real story behind this meteoric rise? Is it truly an innovative AI? Or is it part of something bigger and a more sinister strategy orchestrated by an adversarial country, this time the Chinese government? Or is it all just bullshit? Well, let's start with the facts first. DeepSeek has rocketed to #1 on the App Store seemingly overnight, and many of its users report that it performs exceptionally, sometimes even better than the established platforms like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. In fact, I spoke to some experts in the industry, and they have confirmed that yes, in fact, it does work excellently. This has caused mass panic in all the markets because people are selling off all their AI tech stocks because of this insane narrative that China has just completely changed the world or changed the whole AI game. But this does raise important questions. In fact, I'd like to point out a lot of important things to you, because did this happen organically, or is there more to this story? This video is brought to you by Saily. The last time I went abroad, I had to stand at an airport in line for over an hour to get access to a SIM card because my phone wasn't working in that country. With Saily, you can eliminate this hassle immediately. By getting a Saily SIM card, you'll actually have a plan that'll work in over 180 countries and 8 regions before you even touch down. With a Saily eSim, you'll always have the connection you need. Why do you need Saily? Well, if you've ever been abroad or you badly needed an internet connection and you had no Wi-Fi spot in sight, you'll understand what a difference a local SIM card can make. An eSIM provides an internet connection wherever you travel and saves you money on roaming fees. It's super easy to set up. All you have to do is download the app. It's compatible with iOS or Android devices, and it works with all smartphones that support eSIM technology. You choose a plan that works for you. Multiple plans in over 180 countries and 8 regions are available at some of the best rates online. Guess what? If you're traveling to multiple countries, you can get a global or regional plan so you can travel and not have to change your eSIM depending on what country you're in. You're going to be able to stay connected and you'll never run out of data because they notify you when you've used over 80% of your data, and you can actually top up with just a few clicks. These are the things I love about Saily. Don't forget to go to saily.com/cmilk and use the code CMILK at checkout to get your exclusive discount. That's 15% off. Or you could just scan the QR code on the screen right now to get that discount too. Don't forget to go to saily.com/cmilk and use the code CMILK at checkout to get that 15% exclusive discount. Thanks. Well, first of all, DeepSeek claims to have developed an AI model using a small amount of NVIDIA GPUs. You know, the stock that absolutely plummeted after this news. After years of research and a budget of only $6 million, they managed to pull off an AI model that would embarrass these tech giants that pour billions into their AI infrastructure. What this means is that AI has just been made more efficiently and has shown that China's on top. But can we really buy this small-town, homegrown underdog story? Wait a second, where have I heard this before? Charles Archer, a financial analyst, helped jog my memory on his recent Substack, linked below. Where has China lied about the other massive projects that have caused markets to go wild just so that they could take advantage? Where have we heard this before? How about the straddling bus scam? A giant bus that ran on tracks with enough room for cars to pass under it. It got so much international attention and excitement that China was the future. And guess what? It turned out that it ran on rubber wheels, it overheated, and it didn't even work. It was literally a massive scam. It was a lie, it was made up, but could we expect anything else from China, the land of shortcuts and facades. How about the Hanshin microchip scandal? A notorious Chinese academic fraudulence case. The Hanshin 1 was reportedly the first DSP chip to have been wholly developed in China. However, the chip was later revealed to have been developed by Freescale Semiconductors, a former Motorola subsidiary, with the original identification sandpapered away. Later, in 2023, Power Leader, my favorite Chinese company name ever. Power Leader went wild all over the internet. They basically went out to prove that China could make their own chips. They weren't gonna be hurt by all these sanctions and chip restrictions and stuff. They could make their own stuff. And guess what? It was literally an Intel i3 processor with the label taken off and rebranded as Power Leader. It was literally the same story 20 years later. How about when China sold everyone, except the scientific community, on faster than light communication? It doesn't exist. It cannot exist. They lied. It was made up by the Chinese government, yet people flocked to talk about how advanced China was, and everyone believed this nonsense. How about the Hongqin semiconductor scandal? The Wuhan Communist government funded an ambitious plan to experiment with bat-derived coronaviruses. Wait, sorry, that's the wrong project. The Wuhan Communist government heavily funded new chips, and they never came to fruition. This corrupt disaster quite literally destroyed China's chip-making reputation abroad. How about brain reading AI? China got everyone riled up saying that they've developed tech that can read people's thoughts. Everybody was losing their shit because they thought China had some revolutionary tech that could like Jason Bourne you basically. And they didn't. Is any of this starting to make sense a little bit? They lied. It was made up. You guys ever hear about the 3-second battery? Oh my goodness, this was all over the Chinese internet, but then it crossed over into the Western internet and got everybody super excited. The battery that only takes 3 seconds to charge. It doesn't exist. Yet everyone online certainly thought it was real. It was pushed by massive accounts and people started investing in China over this. It's fake. It's a lie. I could literally go on for days. China's fake green cities that turn out to mold and rot, nobody lives in them. What about their tofu-dread construction of millions of extra apartments that stay empty, and then millions of apartments that never even get built, even though people have poured all of their life savings into it? This isn't new, guys, yet we're buying it all again. Industry insiders, including professionals at established AI firms, are already expressing deep skepticism about DeepSeek's claims. Concerns regarding their choice of GPU model, the training infrastructure, the dubious marketing narratives that are circulating in the tech community, it's all a little bit sus. According to Charles Archer as well, his view out of the 3 possibilities are: number 1, DeepSeek reverse engineered an API from Llama or another open source language learning model to train their model, effectively leveraging that language learning model's training logic without their own original development. Number 2, they actually used advanced NVIDIA H100 GPUs, which could potentially have been funded by the CCP, meaning these resources may have come at no cost to them. When you hear the words obsolete hardware, it's hard not to think, could this be another facade? By employing older technology, are they merely sidestepping US chip bans and restrictions? And where did these GPUs, even the older GPUs, actually come from? You see, NVIDIA's products have significant backdoor access to markets like China through places like Singapore. So what's really going on here? Are we witnessing a strategic play designed to scare US investors and shake confidence in domestic tech companies? China is not a free country with a free market. There is no need for speculation on this. The Chinese government was involved in dropping this AI model to disrupt the US. Every company in China is related to the Chinese government. China has been actively trying to cause chaos and disrupt the US through billions of dollars being flung at its campaign at global dominance and influence abroad. From overseas police stations that hunt down political dissidents to the ridiculous stunt that's being pulled with TikTok, where TikTok banned itself to make people have sympathy over it. The Chinese government is involved in everything that China does. That's just how it works. It's a one-party authoritarian dictatorship. You don't believe me? Well, if China's priorities were straight, they would have released this DeepSeek app unfettered and uncensored. But they simply cannot. Criticism of the leadership is not allowed. It's not allowed in China. You can't say anything negative about the government in China. And guess what? You can't do it on DeepSeek either. With DeepSeek, China isn't even hiding its censorship anymore. Look at what it does when you try to mention literally anything critical of the Chinese government. However, it's happy all day to criticize the US. Honestly, this, yet again, looks like another psyop from the Chinese government. It's so sensitive. I love that when you type the leader of China's name, Xi Jinping, but you ask it to be preceded by Roman numerals, it gets to 11, or XI, which looks like Xi in Roman numerals, and it literally shuts itself off because it doesn't even want to read the leader's name. Do we really need another Chinese government-censored psyop? I don't think so. Anyway, let's talk about data privacy, one of the most alarming aspects of DeepSeek. Listen to their own statements. We collect your information in 3 ways: information you provide, automatically collected information, and information from other sources. And that includes your personal data. When you set up your account, anything you enter into its platform, including your text or audio input, prompt, uploaded files, feedback, chat history, or other content that you provide to our model and services. But there's even more. We automatically collect certain information from you, DeepSeek says, including your internet or other network activity information such as your IP address, your unique device identifiers, and cookies. We collect certain device and network connection information. This information includes your device model, the operating system, keystroke patterns, rhythms, IP address, and system language, where you log in from on multiple devices, and we use information such as your device ID and user ID to identify your activity across devices to give you a seamless login experiences and for security purposes, more like China's national security purposes. Imagine giving away sensitive information under the guise of a harmonizing human-computer interaction. So what do you think? Is DeepSeek a genuine breakthrough in AI, or is it a cleverly disguised effort to undermine US tech? Personally, with all the hacks on Americans coming from China right now, the TikTok scandal, and now this, I think China is busy unleashing modern warfare on the US, and people are just sitting around letting it happen. Whether DeepSeek works well or not, should you trust your data to a company that openly admits to housing your information in China? Probably not. Should we support an AI model that completely censors itself for the Chinese government? I don't think so. Should we even be interfacing with a country that teaches its people that the USA is their mortal enemy? And it has proven time and time again that they will do quite literally everything to dominate the world at all costs? Nah. Stop letting China scam you. If you want to see us go into serious depth about this, go head over to The China Show. That is our weekly show where we cover all of China's news in depth, current events, everything that's viral happening on the Chinese internet, all the stuff in between. It's the only place you need to be if you want to see what's going on in China, or if you want to learn more about this DeepSeek stuff. Go over there, make sure you're subscribed, and check it out. Thanks.